How you doing? Stephen Lee here, System Unfiltered. Couple of things I wanted to talk about. I see some stuff going on in the news to the NYPD's doing things to other people who also have a podcast where Internal Affairs has also done to me in the past for being a guest on a podcast, Lucky Boy podcast, where I spoke about the NYPD corruption and exposing how they retaliate against you and um, the systematic corruption, the racism corruption, um, the traditional corruption of people extorting and acting like gangsters and stuff like that. First thing I want to do is introduce these guys here. It's I don't know if you've seen this article yet. Retired cops claim NYPD trying to silence their critical podcasts. Now, there's these two lieutenants. They're retired from the job, John D. McCary and Lieutenant Eric Dim. They've been doing the podcast and they've been pretty on point with everything that they're saying. There's a lot of things that people on the job, meaning NYPD police officers, want to say, but they can't because it's a tyranny inside the NYPD. If you go against the brass and the upper regime and stuff like that, you're gonna get messed with. And these people are a voice for the cops that are on the job now. And what they're saying is that since they started a podcast and been criticizing the NYPD, that the NYPD has been actually harassing them and threatening them, like sending mob people to like harass them, text them, follow them around, and so forth and so on. It's pretty it's not surprising to me, but it's to the public. You guys should be concerned. Um, it's something that they practice, something that they do all the time, and it's something that the public should know. So now the reason why I brought this up is they posted up this today, and let's give it a hear and listen to what it's about. Okay, so this is on the left, far left is Chief Madry. He's chief of the department. He's the highest ranking chief in the NYPD. Um, People who are police officers know Chief Madry. He's very well known. He's known for taking care of his cops and stuff like that. Supposed to be a good guy and everything. Has some sex scandals here and there, like ex-girlfriends and so forth and so on. This guy in the middle, the guy in the middle is Kaz Daughtry. Kaz Daughtry used to be the guy on the left's driver. He used to be a cop in Brooklyn North, and he was Chief Madry's driver. He, of course, got promoted to detective, and then moved up the ranks of detective. There's three different ranks. You have third grade detective, second grade detective, and then first grade detective. Third grade detective is, it's a little slightly higher than police officers' pay. Second grade detective is similar to sergeant's pay, and the first grade detective is similar to lieutenant's pay. You don't get the rank, but you get the pay. Recently, though, he's been under Adams' administration. He's been promoted to assistant commissioner. Even though he doesn't have any experience or anything like that, he's been promoted to assistant commissioner. And now he's deputy commissioner, meaning he's, I would say, close to second highest rank in the NYPD. He's like right under the police commissioner. Well, right under the police commissioner is first deputy commissioner, and then it's him. But he's the one that's running. Like, his word is basically God right now, and if you go against his word, you'll get transferred, messed with. Your career will be over. It's that kind of stuff. The guy on the right is Shepard. I'm not too sure what his rank is now, but he's been in the media also a lot. So the people that's been in the media lately is Madry, which is on the far left, Kaz Daughtry, which is in the middle, and Shepard, which is on the far right, and the police commissioner, which is Edward Cabana. Okay, so he's talking about the subway incident that happened. There was a shooting on the subway. So what happened was, what I believe in short-term story is a person took a gun out, put it in somebody else's face. The guy, the person wrestled the gun away from the person who had the gun, and then shot him. There's no charges on the person who shot him yet. It's their it's self-defense so far, right? Is the defense on the person who shot the guy, and he's talking about that incident. So let's listen.
So we let this one incident, and I know that it's going to leave a traumatic experience on the people that were affected by this. But also, there was people that got to their destination safely. So millions of people that got to their destination safely. And like the chief said, the 8-4 precinct officers and the transit response team were doing a Tom's check, right? Where the officer parks their car, they walk downstairs, and they go check on the platform. As the officer hit that first platform, he heard the shot. They immediately took out their weapons, and as people were running up the stairs, they were running towards danger. So these officers should be commended for what they did, because they didn't know what they were getting into. They heard 4 gunshots and immediately thought the worst thing was going to happen, and they went towards danger.
First thing I want to say is great job by the police officer responding to the incident. Yes, police officers don't get enough credit. When everybody else is running from the danger, we're running towards the danger. And that's our job. That's the job we signed up for, and that's the job. And they did a great job. Thank God none of the officers got hurt. And, so far, what I want to point out is Kaz Daughtry's speech. I don't want you guys to believe the hype where crime is down, right? Crime is obviously not down. The overtime that's done in the transit system and stuff like that, the police presence that's in the transit system now, and also the National Guard and the state troopers are all in the subway systems. The governor has deployed the National Guard, but I believe she banned them from having long guns. The National Guard is not trained to fight subway crime. Okay, it's National Guard. The state troopers are also not really trained for the New York City transit system. Them doing bag checks, it's a good deterrent, but it's not going to really stop the crime in the transit system. It's more like smoke and mirrors. It's like just to like a show of force and stuff like that, and make people have the illusion of feeling safe and the presence of law enforcement in this transit system. It's not going to solve anything at all. The other thing is there's transit police. There's MTA police, and I don't know why we're not using MTA police more. They should be, on the trains as much as the transit cops are, the NYPD transit cops. They are on the trains. I know they are for a fact, but there should be a bigger presence. I guess it's just a lack of manpower. They're not fit for it. But the NYPD transit cops, they do a phenomenal job, but they just need more cops in the transit system, right? In places where the crimes are happening, not just doing bag checks and getting people for fear beating and stuff like that. It's, they need to be on the trains, riding the trains with, passengers and stuff. So, John McCurry says, we all heard what happened yesterday, the shooting on Thursday inside the Hoyt Skinner Horn station, which happened a week after Governor Kathy Hochul deployed hundreds of National Guard members and state troopers to the subway system. But no one is talking about the millions and thousands of people who got to their destination safe. That's NYPD. That's a quote from the speech you just heard. Yeah, sure. Thousands of people got to their destination safe. Um, Millions of people, quote unquote, got to their destination safe. Yes, of course. But isn't that something that you're supposed to expect? Like, that's something you pay taxes for. You pay taxes for safety. You pay taxes, to want to ride a train and get someplace from point A to point B, right? Without being attacked, without being harassed, without being, uh, anything else like robbed or victimized, right? Why is this such a big thing? Why is this speech to me? Why did it hit me so much? And why do I feel like I want to talk about it? Is because the salary that this guy is getting paid is a six-figure salary. It's if not $200,000 a year. The way he spoke was not professional at all. He freestyled it. He's talking about like, yeah, he's trying to find new technology and stuff like that. What new technology? Like we need it now, right? We don't need it in the future where people are dying and stuff like that. How many deaths does that have to happen? How many of these incidents have to happen before you deploy something? Um, what are you trying to find? You trying to find like the robot thing that you had in Times Square or whatever? Like, we saw that. You had a cop watching the robot so that it didn't get vandalized. It was a waste of money. If you want to find good technology, like, where is it? Are you gonna do facial recognition stuff like that, like which they're doing at the tolls, at the turnstiles and stuff, like to get people that hop the turnstile, they're doing facial recognition and stuff like that now. Like, at what cost are we gonna pay for our safety? All right, when you should just be taking care of the problem, like mental health issues, that people who are trained with mental health engagement, social workers, mental hygiene police, psychiatrists, people who are trained to deal with these people that have mental health, they should be out there and getting the budget that the NYPD is getting for it, because they're not trained. NYPD is not trained to deal with mental health that well. It's like maybe a 1 day training, 2 day training at most. They do scenarios, and then it's more policing scenarios or how to keep safe from it and stuff like that. But they're not trained to solve the problem. So give the budget up and give it to the people who are trained for it. Social workers and mental hygiene police and psychiatrists or whatever and stuff like that. Like, you need people who are trained to deal with it. There's a lot of incidents now that's happening on train that doesn't make any sense, and I believe a bulk of it are from people with mental health issues. You lock them up in the system. You're gonna keep blaming the system where you lock them up, and then the judges are letting them go free. Then you call out the judges, and then you end up calling out the wrong judge, and then you have to apologize for it. I mean, you're spending all this time on social media, but you're not really addressing the issue, right? So I think they should stop with the song and dance and the illusion, trying to put up an illusion. Crime is down, crime is down. We know crime is not down, right? And we're getting frustrated now. So they should definitely come up with different services, or, fund the services that are already in existence to deal with these issues. NYPD should just give it up, because they've been trying to do it for a very long time and still haven't solved the problem. So it's obviously not working. Also, the mental health people, they shouldn't be locked up, because, as you said, they're just going to get released, right? They should be going to, a hospital. They should be going to like talking to a social worker or talking to someone who's trained to help them get services and put them on maybe medication if they need it, right? Or some kind of program where they could slowly get out of that thought process of wanting to harm people. Um, I don't know why you're searching for new technology when, you know, crime is down, right? So there's a big like a disconnect between what the mayor is saying to the press and what's really happening out there. Crime is obviously not down, right? Because they wouldn't be doing press stuff like this. Things would like this wouldn't be happening. But searching the globe for new technology and stuff like that, when you should be training officers on how to handle the crime and transit system more and deploying more officers on the train, like have them ride the trains with the passengers, and stuff like that more often. I mean, they do it now. Don't get me wrong, they do it now. It's just it's not out there as much as it should be, right? But do the people even want that, right? To have constant law enforcement around you to become a police state? I don't think so. You know, it takes away. It makes us feel like our freedom is like being infringed on. So this is all I had to say. You know, think about it and process it and take it as it is. Peace, blessings, and you know, stay safe. All right.